Here's a guide on how to unlock the Khvostov Exotic Auto Rifle in Destiny 2 The Final Shape. If it wasn't already obvious, you need to have completed the Final Shape campaign in order to access all of the areas that we need to go to. There's two parts to getting this exotic. The first is farming Overthrow bosses in the Paleheart Patrol. The second is collecting Visions of the Travelers. Both the Overthrow bosses and the Visions of the Travelers collectibles get us Motes of Light, and we need to get 17 total to unlock the golden chest in the Lost City Tower. There's no particular order this has to be done in, so you can farm the bosses first or get the collectibles first, that's up to you. I'll start with the bosses because there's some things I want to explain for this, and then I will show all the collectibles after. In the Paleheart Patrol space, there are three main regions: the Landing, the Blooming, and the Impasse. Each region has 3 unique bosses that spawn once you reach level 4 on the Overthrow activity. To increase the level of Overthrow, just run around the region doing anything that has the public event icon above it and open the chest at the end. Most of the things in the patrol contributes to the Overthrow level, but don't leave the specific region that you're in, otherwise you'll lose your progress. So at level 4, the boss will spawn in and you'll have to complete some light mechanics to kill it, and then you should get a Mote of Light to drop on the ground right where the boss dies. It looks like a little purple pyramid. Your goal is to get 1 Mote of Light from all 3 bosses in each region, and with 3 regions that means we're looking at a total of 9 motes. But how do you get the second and third bosses to spawn? So this is a little confusing. I'm going to explain it how it seems to work, but feel free to correct me if I'm totally wrong. So let's say, for example, that you're going into this fresh. You have no progress on any of these 3 triumphs, which are the triumphs that help you track the bosses you've killed. And upon reaching level 4 of Overthrow, you get the first boss to spawn in. When you kill it and get your Mote of Light, the next time you reach level 4 in this area, you're going to get the second boss to spawn in. And after that, you hit level 4 again and get the third boss. So that is pretty straightforward. The progress is displayed weirdly on the triumph, but there's nothing complicated about going from boss 1, 2, and 3, right? Well, it starts to get a little confusing when you add other players into the mix, as the boss spawns may correlate with the player who has the least progress. So for example, if you're doing public events in the Landing, and nobody in your fire team has any progress on the Tower Defender triumph, that means you're going to get the first boss, Ir Akmar, to spawn. Great. But now let's say you've already made progress on your triumph and you're working towards the third boss, but your friend has no progress and needs to kill the first boss. It seems like the game defaults to the player who has the lowest progress in your instance, meaning it's going to spawn the first boss, and then the second boss, and then eventually the third boss, so it can catch your friend up to speed. This could be completely wrong, and maybe the game just spawns in the boss that you or your friend needs for the motes. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but if you're doing this solo, it's going to be very simple to keep track of this and know what boss is going to spawn next. Each boss is supposed to guarantee a Mote of Light the first time you kill it. However, the third boss in the Blooming area, the giant meatball one, did not drop the mote for me on the first clear. I had to go back and farm a bunch of public events and then respawn the boss, and then I eventually got it on my second kill. My friend was not so lucky though and had to farm that meatball guy 4 times just to get the mote to drop, which is really weird because every other boss dropped the mote the first time. So I really have no idea if it's just a really high drop chance and they got unlucky, or if it's bugged. Also, when I said don't leave the specific region, otherwise you'll lose your progress earlier, I was referring just to the Overthrow level, not to the progress on your bosses. When you eventually get all 9 Motes of Light from these bosses, you'll have all 3 triumphs completed. Then you need to get 8 more by picking up the Visions of the Traveler collectibles. I'll show you where to find all of them now.
The traveler's experiences in this object. Images, emotions, Echoes of the traveler's experiences vibrate within this object. traveler's presence radiating from this object. Memories and traveler's life resonates from this object. Experiences I can... feel impressions of the traveler's experiences in this object. I can see them. I will try to interpret as best as I can. This traveler's memories and experiences are imprinted on this object. I will try to translate them as best as I can. Feel the traveler's experiences impressed on this object. Feel its emotions, see what it saw. I will try. The traveler's experiences are imprinted on this object. I can feel them, feel its emotions, see what it saw.
With all 17 motes collected, you should now have an exotic looking mote in your consumables inventory, and this means you can head back to the tower in the Lost City and go to what used to be the speaker's area in the Destiny 1 tower. Place down all the traveler visions on each of their podiums, and this will spawn in a golden chest. Like I mentioned, you can collect these visions of the travelers first and put them here before getting the motes from the bosses, but unless you have collected all 17, you won't be able to open the chest. And there you go, that's how to get the Exotic Auto Rifle Khvostov in Destiny 2 The Final Shape. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please leave a like, subscribe for more Destiny 2 guides coming very soon, and hey, maybe join our Discord if you want a cool place to hang out and chat with other gamers.